Aloha, it's Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live for the How to Sell Show podcast. We are officially on episode number 209. Boy, it's been a while since I put an episode out. I had some people reach out to me and go, Scott, are you going to put a new episode out? And I said, yeah, I've got a topic that I've really wanted to go over from some work that I've been doing recently that ties into 15 years of my work figuring out what causes sales slumps. But better yet, how can we get out of one faster? So the title of today's episode is Reducing the Length of a Sales Slump. And we all go through them. It doesn't matter how well entrenched you are in sales, your level of sales, if you're a beginner, medium, intermediate, or pro, we all go through them. There's just different levels to the game, so to speak. And so my goal for you after today is to reduce your dwell time. Dwell time. So dwell time is this: the time between you being on top to the bottom of a sales slump to being back on top again. And what's really weird to me is across the board in sales, there's not a universal dictionary of terms. So like if you're struggling, you can't go to your manager and say like, I'm at the bottom of my dwell time, or I'm trying to speed up my dwell time. They're like, I have no idea what that means. And it's always been confusing for me that you could go from industry to industry in a lot of different services and the terminology can be the same. So I really want to say that I haven't ever heard of anybody discuss sales in this manner, but I really want, no matter what industry or service that you're in, to be able to have a conversation with another salesperson or a sales manager and say, here's what's going on. So why don't we discuss for a couple of minutes what causes a sales slump? I've journaled about this. I've gone through a lot of personal issues myself. I've had a lot of problems myself, which cause sales slumps. And then as a corporate sales trainer, I got to watch people struggle, get back on board of closing deals, then struggle again. And it was a vicious circle. I'm like, what, how can I map this out so it makes sense for everybody? But once again, we all have to be on the same definition. We all have to be on the same explanation of what something is. So what causes a sales slump? Well, let's start with changes in life. What's a change? Like when you start seeing a lot of change in your life and a lot of distraction pulls you from focus. Focus pulls you from your closing of deals. Lack of focus on the deals causes you to not close the deals or speed them up and get a discount. Now, there's going to be a lot of common trend about speeding up. And so the opposite of that would be slowing down. The opposite of that would be being very deliberate. Number 2 on this list is distractions: new house, new car, new boat, new relationship, whatever can pull focus. Now, the opposite of that is true too. Lost a house, lost a car, lost a boat, lost a relationship. And it doesn't just have to be family. It could be friends. It could be a neighbor. It could be a loved one. A loss of relationship is a significant issue that causes a huge amount of issues for a salesperson or a sales pro, especially if you're like in your early 20s and it's your first major breakup. Like, oh my goodness, that's the worst thing to go through until it's your second breakup and then until it's your first divorce. Like the distractions of losing something, like you're trying to get gain in the world of sales, but yet you're losing something. And so they're two opposite. They're two opposite ideas. Losses, deaths, family members, friends, pets. Don't ever rule out pets. Like when I lost my bird a couple of years ago, Ka'e, man, it was hard. When I lost my cat, Sir Rudy Beery, the lady killer, that was hard too. Like people loved, hey Scott, how's your cat doing? Oh yeah, the cat's good. Hey Scott, how's your cat doing? I lost my cat. Like it would bring up good memories, but it would hurt. Okay. Hey Scott, how's your bird doing? I lost my bird. Oh man, sorry to hear that. It's a real feeling. And so it's like people who don't have pets don't understand this. People who don't have a dog, a cat, a bird, a snake, a ferret, a horse, a cow, a pig, like whatever the pet may be, I'm not making light of it, but be aware that the loss of an animal is a real grief. And grief gives you grief brain, and grief brain leaves a fog. It's not something, it's something we can talk about. It's something we can discuss. But it's like me describing what a medium rare ribeye tastes like if you've never had ribeye. Like you can have a concept of it, but you may not exactly understand it. Okay. On this list is something that nobody talks about from the standpoint of a sales slump and for you to get better, and that's fatigue. That's mental fatigue. That's like if you're trying to get a degree. That's if you're trying to pass an exam. That's if you've got a lot of thinking going on. You're writing a book, you're creating content. It could be emotional fatigue. Yeah, we talked about breakups, but like there are points in life where people go through mental struggles. It could be just be depression. It could be loneliness. Like what is weird to me, I've always found this weird. I've mentioned this on a couple of different episodes of the How to Sell show, is how like emotions are taboo to talk about what you go through personally. They're not taboo when you want to close a deal, but they're taboo to everybody else when you're going through it, because most people don't know how to deal with this. Like you really, if you're struggling, please see a pro. Please see somebody that can help you out and help you get your brain fixed. Bob Beverly is a lovely man based out of New York. And he taught me, he said, hey, Scott, you know, if your tooth hurts, what do you do? And I say, you go to the dentist. He said, if your roof leaks, what do? You call a roofer. He says, what happens when your emotions hurt? You get a therapist. You talk to a pro. You talk to somebody who can help you out with these things. And then there's physical exhaustion. Physical exhaustion is, you know, you're going to the gym. You're pushing for a marathon or a half marathon or for a 5K run. Or, you know, you got a softball beer league that you play on and you're going into the championships. Or all these things above. Right? You had a loss in the family. You haven't been doing well. Plus, you got physical exhaustion. You can't rule out a combination of all of these. Right? It's the combo effect. But for you to be able to talk about it coherently is something that's going to move you along faster. For somebody, but this is important. You have to talk to people you trust. I'm not going to go tell my deepest, darkest secrets to a stranger. I'm not going to go tell my deepest, darkest secrets to somebody that I don't trust. And the reason for this is they could use it against me. Now, if you trust the person and they're a professional, there's a lot of benefit there. And last on this list, never heard anybody talk about this before. It's time. It's time. From the standpoint of a machine, any machine that you work on, work around, or work with has a breakdown, right? If you're on an assembly line, there is dedicated time off on that machine to do maintenance. If you're driving a car, there's maintenance intervals. Any machine has maintenance involved, no matter the age, no matter what it is, because it's just breakdown time. It's fatigue. And you could push yourself too hard, too far, too fast, and eventually it's just time. And so sometimes sales slumps have nothing to do with the market, have nothing to do with the leads. They have to do with you, your exhaustion. So you got changes in your life, you got distractions, you got losses, you got fatigue. Now it's just time. So the more that you envelop these ideas and these concepts about what causes a sales slump, it's easy for you to look and go, oh, I can work against this. You can work against a sales slump and reduce the amount of dwell time. The reduction of dwell time is super important. So I want to introduce you to some terms so that we're all on the same page. And the first one is the sales slump. That's when you are on top and you're no longer on top and now you're at the bottom. And now you're trying to figure out how to get back up and you're looking from the bottom of a pit saying, why doesn't somebody give me a ladder for me to climb up? And I'm going to tell you, I just gave you the whole roadmap of what it takes and what kind of problems that people have. Dwell time. How long in between you closing to not closing to closing again? You know, how long and how deep is that? Now, the sooner that somebody can help you, the shorter that dwell time, the faster the maintenance, so to speak. Operating at full capacity. When are you at your max? My max is not your max. Your max isn't my max. And so sometimes we look at people and we're like, that dude or that chick is a machine, and I'm going to try to copy them. Well, their operating system, their maintenance schedule may not be the same as yours, and so that comparison really isn't fair. I don't like the word fair, but it's not fair on this point. Mission and purpose, that's your personal why. That fuels your performance. When you lose something, it pulls away from your mission and purpose. Distractions, these are the causes and killers of focus and flow. What are you being distracted by? If we work together personally in a coaching capacity, I'm going to have you go down the list and tell me, like, what are distractions for you? Now, I'm going to give you my list, okay? Family. Hey, Scott, I need your help with something. Friends. Hey, Scott, you know, I need you to do this thing for me. Clients. Hey, it's an emergency. Personal stuff. When I struggle, that's a distraction. Personal goals. Vacation time can be a distraction. Sales sabotage. This is something that on my YouTube channels, I have been talking about sales sabotage, I think since 2012, 2011, 2012. And these are all the things that you do to sabotage deals. Sometimes it's not the buyer's fault or the potential client's fault. It's your fault, and you got to own it. And then last on this list is freefall. This, like, we have all been there. If you've been in sales for any amount of time, freefall is this. You're in panic and you don't know how to get back into the game. And you start saying things like, I don't know what to do. Nothing I'm doing is working. It's just not working. I can't close deals. It's not there. I don't have it. If you're saying that, you're in freefall. If you are in freefall, you need to stop and take an assessment of what's going on in your life. And I've got a whole list of things to help you. But like, if you hear yourself thinking, I don't know what to do, I'm in panic mode, I can't make anything work, it's never going to work, it's not ever working out, like any variation of this, you are in freefall, my friend. And this is where like having a universal conversation ability for salespeople across the board of industries would make sense. Like you go to your manager, your business owner, like, hey, Scott, why aren't you selling? I'm like, I'm trying, but I'm in freefall. I can diagnose that. I could say, oh, you're in freefall? Well, you know what we're going to do? Here's some training wheels. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term. There's times where I've needed training wheels, where I've needed to go do a ride along, where I've needed to go back to practice, where I've needed to have a mentor or a coach role play with me. I'm not opposed to any of that. Hey, my name's Scott. I am not a perfect human being, right? Please don't believe that my life is all rainbow sunshines and $100 Benjamin Franklin bills like I have behind my head right here. It's not. I have pains, I have panics, I have worries, I have disorientations, I have struggles, I have distractions. Everything that you go through, I go through. Right? It's not just you, it's me too. It's every professional. And this happens in all industries and services. So if we're going to say that sales slumps are normal, why don't we work towards getting through them faster? And I say we because I'm included in this project. You're listening to what I'm saying, but I also go through sales slumps too, okay? So there's some visual representations that we could do to map this out. We've got a bell curve. A bell curve is an upside down U, but it's a long extended U. And then an upside down bell curve is what looks like a sales slump. And so the goal is to have the longest bell curve upright possible and the shortest upside down bell curve possible. So it's a long draw, like I'm closing, I'm staying on top, I've got my mission and purpose in place, I've got my focus in place. And then I get my distraction. Like I recognize I'm distracted. I recognize I'm in free fall. I raise my hand and say, time out. I need some help. I need to pay attention to what's going on. The goal isn't to avoid sales slumps. It's to work through them faster. Like if you just plug your ears and say, there's no such thing as sales slumps. There's no such thing as sales slumps. I'm going to tell you, like, that's not true. If I go through them, it means everybody else goes. I know some pretty dang good closers in business buying. I know some pretty dang good closers in home services. I know some amazing closers when it comes to real estate. And we can have this conversation about like, hey, it sucks. I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom, right? But like there's some things that you could do to jump out of sales sabotage and a sales slump faster. So I want to talk to you about respawn. Respawn, like it's a reset point. If you're playing a video game and your player gets damaged, and you respawn to where you were, it's a starting point. So if there was a way to respawn for you when it comes to having your ability to get back on deck and start closing deals and have a restore point, like this is the ultimate. I'm going to work with you on doing this. So my version of a respawn or a restore point in sales is to record your sales presentation. My version of a respawn is to say, okay, if it's true that I can work and I can practice and I could do things to be good at sales, I can also prepare for a sales slump. And I can do that by recording my sales presentation monthly. Yes, it takes time. Like I hear all the excuses. I hear all the objections. Scott, that takes time and effort. Like I'm going to tell you this. We all get off of focus on our sales presentation. So sometimes the dwell time is caused by us being off the presentation. And when you're on top, this is the absolute positive time for you to record your presentation because you can check what you're talking about. You could check your energy. You could check your vocal pitch and tone. You can check the stories that you're telling. When you're at the bottom and you have a list of what you're not doing or what you've started to add, I will share with you this. If I work with a sales pro and we work together for 3 months, and we get the most masterful presentation possible. And I don't talk to them for 3 months, and we don't work together for 3 months, and they don't check in for 3 months, and they don't look at their checklist for 3 months. 90 days later, they have a different presentation. 60 days later, they have a different presentation. 30 days later, they have a different presentation. Preferably, if you have the wherewithal to do a presentation every week, you're going to catch yourself before you slip. And it only takes 5 recordings for you to get really good at figuring out what you're doing and what you're not doing, what you're removing and what you're adding. And so this is the way you do this. You grab a video camera. They're all of about $30 these days, or a video camera, cell phone, camera, tablet, whatever you can do to record, and you record your presentation. So it's for about an hour, it's going to be 4 gigs at 1080p. So you need something that's got about 4 gigs if you're going to have an hour-long presentation, and just start reducing it down backwards. Half an hour is 2 gigs-ish. And then you're going to record your presentation. And then what you're going to do is you are going to extract the audio, and then you're going to drop that into otter.ai, and then you're going to take that document, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put that document into something like ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, whatever the flavor is today of AI, and you're going to have it build you a checklist. And then that's your master control. If you're at the bottom, that's not your master control. If you're at the top, that's your master control. And then every other recording is what you're going to judge against it. They do this in copywriting. So in the world of ad writing, what they do is they will bring in 6 or 7 ad writers, aka copywriters, and they will find who's got the best copy. And then the big companies will say, hey, Scott's got the best copy, but we're going to try to bring Dave in so that Dave can beat him. And if Dave beats me, then I got to go back to the drawing board and rewrite my sales presentation, aka copy, and rework it. Having a respawn point for your sales presentation is something that everybody should do, including me. I do this, just so you know. I do this. Anytime I'm on a sales call, I record it. If I'm on a Zoom sales call, it's being recorded if I'm meeting with a potential client. So this is a resilience building model. This is a way for you to bounce back faster. This is a way for you to respawn in the world of sales. And if you say, hey, Scott, well, I don't know what resilience means. I'm like, I'm going to help you out. It's the adapting, reframing, and continue to move forward with emotional and mental flexibility. It's moving forward. So when I'm struggling in life, I just want to lay in bed and pull the covers over my head. When I'm struggling in life, I want to sleep in. When I'm struggling in life, I want to eat like garbage. When I'm struggling in life, I want to do nothing. I want to go sit by the river, sit by the ocean, watch the sunset every day that I can. Resilience means, hey, Scott, you got to get back into the game. Right? Rejection hurts. Those no's hurt. I was hanging out with a guy named Sam Kramian. Sam Kramian's a baller. Love the dude. He's from San Diego. He's got a real estate organization. And we were talking about how you take how many no's you have and how many yeses you have and put a value to every no. Like, people always want to talk about the positive of sales, and they want to talk about like how much each lead is worth. How much is each no worth? Each no has a value to it. Well, if you're not getting any no's, it's a big value. It's 0. But if you have $1,000 average sale, and 3 people out of 10 said, hey, yeah, I want to buy from you, then you know what those no's are worth. So you got to reframe your mission and purpose to realign the direction that you want to go. So here's something that I do. Every 90 days, I go and I record my goals. Preferably on the North Shore of Oahu and Haleiwa at Haleiwa Ali'i Beach Park in the morning. I got the ocean in the background, just beautiful sunrise. If I can't go there, it's Waimea Bay. If I can't go there, it's Bodega Bay. If I can't go there, it's by the river here in Sacramento, like south of the river in the Delta. Like, I find a place where I could just talk just like I'm talking right now. Hey, Scott, it's 90 days out. Hey, here's your focus. You got to pick up 3 more clients a month. Hey, Scott, you got to get back into shape. Congratulations, you lost 30 pounds. You're down 30 pounds. Come on, brother, you got this. You can keep going. And it's like a way to talk to myself. And then every morning, it's like, this is what I do. I wake up in the morning. I start my morning routine. And my morning routine is me on video saying, come on, buddy, coming to you live from Haleiwa on the North Shore of Oahu, or I'm coming to you live from San Francisco, or wherever I happen to be. 90 days, every 90 days, at the beginning of every quarter, I do this. And it's a way for me to respawn. It's a way for me to focus. And it's a way for me to pay attention to what's going on. Now, I will share with you, there's times where if I'm on a sprint for something, I will put a goal video together for the week. It doesn't cost anything. Like the video that I'm filming on right now, this is a $300 camera. $300 cell phone, excuse me. I could buy one right now on eBay for $100. So like you don't have to go to crazy town. I got a $3,000 Canon XA75 in the other room. I don't use it to shoot video like this because it takes too much to set up. It's a big giant machine. It's like the size of a shoebox. It's huge. It's huge. So you have the ultimate ability to respawn by recording your sales presentation and shooting a video for you to focus on for 90 days. Like what's your 90-day focus? So I've got 10 ways for you to reduce dwell time. And some of these we've touched, some of them we haven't. One, revisit and refresh goals. Bring them into smaller, motivating wins. I've got this thing called an Awesomeness Swipe File. And every time I do something amazing and I do something good, I drop this onto the front of my computer, onto the splash screen or whatever you want to call it. And I was doing a presentation with Jay Abraham the other day. And so I snapped a picture, a screenshot on the Zoom, and I put it into my Awesomeness Swipe File. I put 1,000 videos on one of my YouTube channels, and I took a screenshot that I hit 1,000 videos. I wrote a book, and I launched it on Kindle Direct Print on KDP. I took a picture as I was launching that thing, and all these things go into my Awesomeness Swipe File. It's testimonials. It's the things that people say about me. It's highlights of my life. Like I'm on a really big kick right now to lose some weight. So right now I'm down 27 pounds. So when I hit 30, I'm going to take a picture of my feet on the scale at like 30 pounds less. And then every 10 pounds goes into the Awesomeness Swipe File. And every time I get a smaller pant size, like my wins aren't your wins. Your wins aren't my, but I will celebrate with you as long as it's legal and moral. Number 2, change your routine. Inject some novelty to reset focus, right? So what can you do a little bit differently than you're doing right now? Number 3, seek feedback and coaching. There's a point where you hit the wall and you are in free fall that you need help. There's also a point before you hit the wall that you need help. When you've maxed out and you're like, hey, I just can't go any further in closing. I'm closing at 50% and I can't break whatever number it is, 50%. That's when you need a coach. That's when you need a mentor. That's when you need to pay somebody to help you get to the next level. Number 4, focus on small wins. Momentum is like one small step at a time. There is a mountain range that I like to go climb when I go to Hawaii, and it's the pillbox in Lanikai to watch the sunrise. And it's a steep climb. And it's funny because like the Marine Corps base Kaneohe is 6 minutes away. And there are guys that will run to the top and you will see them at sunrise. They're stoked. I did it in 6 minutes. Like, I can't do it in 6 minutes. I would love to do it in 6 minutes, but I can't do it in 6 minutes. From the parking lot to the top, 6 freaking minutes. Like if I did it in 30 minutes, that would be a win. If I did it in 29, that would be a win. Celebrate your small wins. Number 5, practice positive self-talk. Reframe the inner dialogue. What are you talking to yourself about? There's a book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. The guy was a plastic surgeon in the 60s, and he details like what it was like. Somebody would get a nose job, and it would completely change their life, but nobody around them would notice. Nobody would notice that they got a nose job except for them. Like the things that you talk about really do matter. Where Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. There is a million versions of you get what you focus on. So William James said it. Like there's tons of people who have given some sort of version of where focus goes, energy flows. Part of this too is to tell yourself when you are screwing up. So I'm going to share something with you. The other day, I'm in the big box store, and in my pocket I had some YouTube on, and I had my headphones. So I'm walking around the big box store, and it got political, and like I realized, oh my goodness, this isn't helping me. So I stop where I'm at and go, this isn't helping me. And then I realized like I need to break my state. I go, this isn't helping me. And the whole store turns around and looks at me. And I realized that I was caught up in drama that wasn't going to help me. And so for about 10 seconds, I looked goofy, right? For 10 seconds, I looked silly. And then everybody turned around, and probably nobody has thought about it since. This had to be a couple of weeks ago. There's not somebody laying in their bed right now going, man, there was some weird dude at the big box store who said this isn't helping me. Like sometimes you just got to punch that frame and say, hey, I'm not going to think or talk about this anymore. And sometimes you need to extract yourself from negative conversations, right? I start thinking of all the times where I get caught up in stuff that isn't helping me. And as soon as I realize it, I'm like, this isn't helping me. Okay. The other thing is I give myself 15 minutes to be mad. And then I play this game against myself. I'm not going to be mad for 15 minutes. So the other day, some drama happened in my life that isn't very going to be interesting to you, but it's interesting to me. And so I grabbed my phone out and I put 15 minutes on the clock. And then I was like, there's no way I'm going to be mad for 15 minutes. This is pulling from my mission and purpose. So I put on Bohemian Rhapsody and I sang Bohemian Rhapsody 3 or 4 times and I let the drama go. Right? There's a lot of different ways that you could do this. You could create a YouTube playlist of things that you think are funny. I think the guys from Jackass are funny. There's a lot of scenes from the movies that you could watch. When Wee Man goes into a bar with a girlfriend and gets into a fight with a whole bunch of other people. Oh my goodness. Like if I'm having a bad day, that scene, it's like 7 minutes. And like, it just pulls me out. Number 6, revisit your training materials. Return to the fundamentals. It's the basics. It's the basics. Number 7, change your environment. Like you can go somewhere else and have a new idea, a new thought, a new process. Re-engage with past clients. You should be visiting past clients for referrals. Right? Most people do everything they can to fight to get a lead and close a lead. And then after they get the lead and they close the lead, they never talk to that person again. Hello, they know other people too. Go back and check in on them. Number 9, focus on learning, not just results. Like, what are you doing? Like 10 minutes a day on positive reinforcement. So every morning I have things that I listen to. So what am I trying to learn about right now? How to ask better questions. How to be more emotionally logical, if there is such a thing. Number 10, take care of yourself. This means going to the gym, paying attention to what you eat, pay attention to what you drink, getting enough sleep. Like these are all like the 3rd grade answers, but they're the things that hold you back. I'm going to give you some bonus tools. Laugh and love. Engage with humor and human connection. One of the things that happens in a sales slump is you tend to shy away from people because out of shame. Like, I'm not closing. Once you feel yourself pulling back from the people around you, it is a sign that you are either heading for a sales slump or you're in a sales slump and you need some help. And then last on this list is get back to nature. So for me, I love to go sit by myself by the river, by the ocean for about 30 minutes and just talk myself up. Scott, you're a baller. Scott, you're the best at what you do. Scott, people love you. Scott, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Scott, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, peanut butter, and jelly sandwiches. Scott, you're the best thing since bacon. Like, sometimes you need that. You could be the greatest thing since sliced bread and peanut butter and jelly, right? You could take my example. So you could use meditation or visualization. There's all sorts of free tools on the YouTube where you can get a free guided meditation. I will tell you the first couple of times it's awkward and weird. Give it 15 minutes. Give it 15 minutes a day for 7 days. You will absolutely rewire what you do. There's a guy named Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza's got a lot of good stuff. There is tons of really good free tools for you to use, but at some point you're going to have to pay. Sometime you're going to have to pay the piper. But give it 15 minutes a day for 7 days. Like if you're like, Scott, I tried it for three whole minutes. Like that's not going to do anything for you. Right? You need some repetitions in there, buddy. You need some repetitions in there, pal. You need some repetitions in there, chief. Right? You need it. You need it. And then you need to track your progress. Small wins, improved mood, more calls, faster follow-up, better deals, more referrals. And it's like, you don't have to hit all of those. You just need one in the category. So every morning I get up, I put out 3 YouTube videos right now. I put out a post in some of the Facebook groups I'm in. I put a post on my LinkedIn page. I write a blog. Like I count all of those as small wins because nobody else does it. Right? Like my competition is asleep. Monday mornings are my secret weapon. Everybody else is asleep. I'm out there creating content, dropping videos. I like right now, as I'm filming this for you today, this is the 7th video I've filmed today. So some of them are for my YouTube channel, some of them for private coaching and training. Some of it is for the How to Sell show. My belief is you will never outwork me. You can only underbid me. And if you're cheap, so what? Celebrate micro successes, acknowledge the bounce back. Like on the climb back up from sales slumps are steep. You need little tiny wins. Like I got out of bed on time this morning. I went to the gym. I brushed my teeth. I showered. If that is your win, I will celebrate it with you. As long as it's moral and ethical, I will celebrate any win that you need. message me like, hey, Scott, I just need somebody to celebrate a win with me. I'm like, heck yes, you got this. You can do it. And then maintain the habits that helped you return. Like journal your return and your climb back up. What was it like? What were some of the emotions? What were some of the small wins? What were some of the fantastic things that you did? So here's what I want to close with for you. That sales slumps are normal. Let's treat them as normal. Let's reduce the dwell time. Let's speed up the success. Let's reduce the maintenance time that you have to be out of the game. Let's reduce the amount of time that it takes for you to respawn and get back in to help your player. Reducing the dwell time is win. If you're keeping track and you're like, Scott, I had a sales slump of a week and I was able to reduce it to 5 days. And then I was able to reduce it to 3 days. And then I was able to reduce it to 2 days. Whatever number that is, you're reducing your dwell time. It becomes a competition for you to be like, I can beat this. I can do it. I got this. I can win. And then the respawn framework, it is your reset tool. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Thanks for checking out this episode of the How to Sell Show. You can always find more content on howtosell.live. Looking forward to connecting with you soon. Aloha and mahalo.